What if staying mentally sharp wasn't just about intelligence or genetics, but about supporting a few core biological systems inside your brain every single day? 3 Nobel Prize winning scientists uncovered discoveries that completely reshaped our understanding of how the brain ages. Even more compelling, these scientists didn't just study longevity, they lived it. Dr. Eric Kandel, a pioneer of brain plasticity, is still alive and intellectually active in his mid-90s. Dr. Robert Furchgott, who uncovered the role of nitric oxide in blood flow, lived into his 90s. And Dr. Günter Blobel, whose work revealed how cells maintain internal order, lived well into his 80s. Their research points to 3 fundamental pillars of brain longevity. Brain plasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and form new connections. Blood flow, the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to brain tissue. Cellular organization, the internal order that keeps neurons functioning for decades. For each of these pillars, modern science now shows that everyday food choices can either support or silently sabotage the aging brain. Let's explore how these discoveries connect, and how nutrition plays a powerful role in keeping the brain biologically young. Dr. Eric Kandel and brain plasticity. The first major discovery comes from Dr. Eric Kandel, who won the Nobel Prize in 2000 for proving that learning and memory physically change the brain. Before his work, memory was thought to be stored like files in a cabinet, fixed and static. Dr. Kandel showed something far more dynamic. Every time you learn something new, the connections between neurons are remodeled. These connections, called synapses, can strengthen, weaken, or reorganize based on experience. Memory is not stored in a single place. It exists in the quality of communication between neurons. As we age, the most important factor in cognitive decline is not the loss of brain cells, but the gradual loss of this adaptability. When synaptic plasticity declines, the brain becomes rigid. Learning slows. Memory weakens. Cognitive aging accelerates. How modern diets undermine plasticity. Modern diets quietly work against brain plasticity. Diets high in refined sugars and ultra-processed foods cause repeated spikes in blood glucose and insulin. Over time, this leads to oxidative stress and chronic low-grade inflammation inside the brain. These conditions disrupt the signaling pathways that allow synapses to adapt. At the same time, poor quality fats and refined carbohydrates reduce levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a molecule essential for synaptic growth and maintenance. Instead of supporting learning, the modern diet pushes the brain toward rigidity, making it harder to form new connections and easier to lose existing ones. Foods that support brain plasticity. Fatty fish, such as salmon and sardines, are rich in DHA, an omega-3 that forms a major structural component of neuronal membranes. DHA keeps these membranes fluid and responsive, allowing neurons to communicate efficiently. Studies consistently link higher DHA intake with better memory and slower cognitive decline. Berries support plasticity through their high polyphenol content. These compounds protect neurons from oxidative stress and enhance signaling pathways involved in learning and memory. Human studies associate regular berry consumption with improved cognitive performance, particularly in memory-related tasks. Eggs provide choline, a nutrient essential for producing acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter involved in attention, learning, and memory. Choline also supports the structural integrity of brain cell membranes, reinforcing the physical foundation of synaptic plasticity. Together, these foods help preserve the adaptability that Dr. Kandel showed is central to staying mentally sharp with age. A simple habit that protects memory: walking. Dr. Kandel himself practices a surprisingly simple habit to protect memory: walking. He explains that age-related memory loss is common, even without Alzheimer's disease. But research shows this decline may be countered through movement, specifically walking. Bones are not just structural support, they are an endocrine organ. When you walk, you stimulate bone tissue to release a hormone called osteocalcin. In experimental studies, osteocalcin has been shown to improve memory and counteract age-related cognitive decline. By walking 2 to 3 miles a day, Dr. Kandel increases bone activity, boosts osteocalcin, and supports memory, all without medication. Nutrition that supports osteocalcin. Osteocalcin depends on proper nutrition to function. Vitamin K or rich foods like spinach, kale, and fermented foods activate osteocalcin. Adequate protein is essential, as osteocalcin itself is a protein. Vitamin D, found in eggs and fatty fish, supports bone metabolism. Together, movement and nutrition form a powerful system for protecting memory as we age. Dr. Robert Furchgott and blood flow to the brain. The second Nobel discovery comes from Dr. Robert Furchgott, who won the Nobel Prize in 1998 for revealing that nitric oxide is a critical signaling molecule in the body. Before his work, blood vessels were thought to open and close passively. Dr. Furchgott showed that nitric oxide actively signals blood vessels to relax, allowing more blood, oxygen, and nutrients to reach tissues, including the brain. This is crucial because the brain is one of the most energy-demanding organs in the body. When blood flow declines, neurons receive less oxygen and glucose, waste products accumulate, and cognitive performance begins to suffer. In many cases, what we call a brain aging is actually a slow failure of circulation long before neurons die. How modern diets damage blood flow. Diets high in refined sugars, excess sodium, and ultra-processed foods damage the endothelial lining of blood vessels. This reduces nitric oxide production and increases oxidative stress. Over time, blood vessels become stiff and unresponsive. Even before noticeable cognitive symptoms appear, reduced circulation quietly limits brain performance and accelerates aging. Foods that restore nitric oxide. Beets are one of the most powerful foods for blood flow. They contain natural nitrates that the body converts into nitric oxide. Studies show beet consumption improves vascular function and increases blood flow to brain regions involved in executive function. Leafy greens, such as spinach and arugula, provide nitrates along with antioxidants that protect nitric oxide from degradation. Regular intake is associated with better vascular health and slower cognitive decline. Pomegranate supports blood flow through its high polyphenol content, which reduces oxidative stress and preserves nitric oxide activity. Research links pomegranate consumption with improved endothelial function and better cerebral circulation. Together, these foods help maintain steady delivery of oxygen and nutrients to the brain over time. Dr. Günter Blobel and cellular protection. The third Nobel discovery comes from Dr. Günter Blobel, who won the Nobel Prize in 1999 for explaining how proteins are directed to the correct locations inside the cell. This discovery is central to brain longevity. Neurons must function for decades without replacement. When proteins fail to fold correctly or reach the wrong location, cellular stress increases and toxic buildup occurs. Over time, this breakdown in cellular organization contributes to neurodegeneration and cognitive decline. How modern diets disrupt cellular order. Ultra-processed diets increase the production of damaged proteins while impairing the systems responsible for repairing, folding, and recycling them. In neurons, this is especially damaging because these cells are rarely replaced. As misfolded proteins accumulate, cellular compartments lose order, stress responses activate, and normal signaling breaks down, accelerating brain aging. Foods that protect cellular organization. Berries reduce oxidative damage to proteins, easing the burden on cellular quality control systems. Extra virgin olive oil stabilizes cellular membranes and reduces inflammation, creating a favorable environment for proper protein transport and signaling. Cruciferous vegetables, such as broccoli and Brussels sprouts, Activate detoxification and antioxidant pathways that help cells manage damaged proteins and maintain internal order. The 3 pillars of brain longevity. When you support brain plasticity, protect blood flow, maintain cellular order, you address the 3 core biological systems that determine how the brain ages. Mental sharpness is not just a reflection of intelligence, it is a biological state that can be nourished daily. And when the brain stays young, the entire body often follows. Staying mentally sharp may be one of the most powerful ways to stay biologically young.